football games, family reunions, dinner parties. What do all of these events have in common? Snacks, of course. Regardless if it's chips, veggie trays, salsa, or charcuterie boards, most likely you've had a Frito Lay product on the table. Whether it was Tostitos, Doritos, Cheetos, or some other snack, if you live west of the Mississippi River, that Frito Lay product had its beginnings in a small town called Gothenburg, Nebraska. Hello, welcome to Avery Solomon's Gothenburg Historical Audio Tour. I am your host, Mark Peyton, and today we will discuss Gothenburg's local Frito Lay facility and its purpose, which is providing the basis for corn products across the western United States. First, let's talk about corn. In Nebraska, corn is planted anywhere from mid-April to late May. With the help of irrigation, the corn will grow until it's ready to be harvested in the fall, generally late September to October. There are many varieties of corn, such as sweet corn and popcorn, as well as the food-grade corn Frito Lay utilizes. There are also different hybrids of food-grade corn. For Frito Lay, certain corn hybrids can or cannot be used based upon tests the company conducts. If a hybrid meets their requirements, it's put on their grow list. Growers for Frito Lay must follow this list if they want their product to be accepted. Before we get into what happens at Gothenburg's Frito Lay plant, let's take a look at some of the history behind it. During the 1990s, area farmers saw that Frito Lay was looking to move their Texas plant to Nebraska, where water accessible from the Ogallala Aquifer allowed for extensive corn production. The farmers pushed for this plant to relocate to Gothenburg, and they were successful. Groundbreaking took place on March 29, 1995, and just a little over a year later, on October 8th, the newly built plant received its first of what would eventually exceed over 3.5 million loads of corn. The starting point in the conversion of corn to snacks is the Gothenburg facility. When the corn is ready, it's brought in via semi-trucks. Once there, the semi will enter the probe where a sample of the corn is taken. The sample of corn will be measured to determine its moisture levels, checked for cracked kernels and foreign materials, items part of the load other than corn. Frito Lay has certain standards for its products, and if this standard is not reached, the load can be denied. If the corn is acceptable, the semi full of corn is weighed. The corn is then dumped, and the semi is weighed again to determine the amount of corn provided. A majority of the 13,000 loads received annually will make their way into one of two of Frito pits. The corn moisture sample previously taken will determine where the corn grows. If the corn is too wet, it will be placed in a wet tank to dry before going on to the next stage. If it's the right moisture, it will enter into the next stage, the scalper area. The scalper's job is to sort the corn, removing kernels that are too small or too large. The broken kernels and those that are too small or large are not discarded. This corn still has a purpose. The rejected corn and foreign materials are placed in waste bins. These are then shipped to local feedlots for use as supplemental cattle feed. The acceptable corn will be moved to the long-term storage bins. When the time comes for the corn to be shipped to 15 different processing facilities across the western United States, it is taken from the storage bins on a conveyor belt and sent to the cleaner room. Aspirators, gravity separators, and optical sorting will work at removing any additional foreign materials and broken kernels. Samples are taken before the corn is shipped to a processing facility to ensure the corn meets the various quality control standards. Those samples of the clean corn are then stored in the lab. If a problem with a shipment is detected at a processing facility, the samples can be tested to see if the problem originated in Gothenburg, the train car, or at the processing facility. The last step is loading and shipping. The majority of the corn is shipped by rail. Cars are loaded and then sealed and connected to the Union Pacific trains, which will then deliver the corn to one of 15 processing facilities in the United States and Canada. Since 1996, Gothenburg's Frito Lay facility has not only provided over 100 local farmers within a 60-mile radius of Gothenburg an additional buyer for their corn, they are also active contributors to the community and its events, either by providing snacks at various events or through monetary donations. For nearly 30 years, the plant has been providing American consumers with Gothenburg and Nebraska-sourced products, and the community of Gothenburg is grateful to possess such a facility. So next time when you pop a Doritos in your mouth, you'll not only remember where it came from, but you'll also know the process in which it began its journey from cornfields around Gothenburg to your tailgate party. Thank you for listening to this episode of Avery Solomon's Gothenburg Historical Audio Tour. If you want to see and listen to more episodes like this, check out the YouTube or Facebook page titled Gothenburg Historical Audio Tour.